Welcome to Computex 2024, and we are looking at the new X670, X870 chipsets coming out here, and we've got the ASRock flavor ready to look at the details and the differences. Now, you're probably wondering, what are the differences between X670 and X870? Well, to be straight up with you guys, the differences are that you get now dual USB Type 4 support on all the new X870 motherboards, whether it's an E or a non-E variant. Now, of course, with those E variants, you get the dual chipset for the extended input-output connectivity. But with the entry-level model here, we're going to start off with the Pro RS series, which to me personally is becoming my new favorite lineup from ASRock, even over their previous Steel Legend, which was my favorite before, because it's offering everything you want for the best price point possible, in my opinion. In other words, I think the Pro RS is becoming the best value motherboards. And with the X870 Pro RS Wi-Fi, you're getting Wi-Fi 7, you're getting 2.5 gigabit Ethernet LAN, as well as now with this whole, COVID shortage over on the Realtek audio chipsets, you're getting the Realtek ALC 1220 to boot from the get-go. So that means good onboard audio, good Wi-Fi support, decent NIC, and that dual USB Type 4 support, so you're ready to rock and roll. Now, you've got also Gen 5 M.2 as well as Gen 4 and Gen 3, and then you've got a beefy 17-phase power design with 80 amp MOSFETs, so you're going to be able to support even the Ryzen 9 9950X overclocked on an entry-level X870 motherboard to boot. So that's why this one is coming in as my favorite X870 motherboard. Now let's take a look at some of the other motherboards here on display right after the intro. The Ryzen 9000 series CPUs, they're coming out next month in July. Now behind me here is the X870 motherboards, and they're coming out in sometime in September, I'm told. So in other words, the good news here is you'll be able to update your BIOS for your X670 motherboard, for example, or even a B650, and you'll be able to support the new Ryzen 9000 series CPUs. But let's go through the rest of these motherboards right here. The good thing here is, if you get an X870 motherboard, all of these support BIOS flashback. So if there's a Ryzen 10000 series CPU coming out, you can use the same BIOS flashback support that you got on your X670, that's if you get an X870, and you're good to go. There's no having to buy another motherboard just to get the best out of the latest and greatest CPUs. But let's go through the Steel Legend right here. We've got here a better onboard audio support with the Realtek 4082, and then you've got a different aesthetic over that of the Pro RS. Now moving on to the Riptide, that's actually the same as the Steel Legend, it's just coming in with a different aesthetic. Though above that, you'll notice we got the Nova. Now the Nova is the new sort of value flagship motherboard from ASRock, and this here has a bigger VRM than the previous Riptide Pro RS and also the Steel Legend. And this is coming in with 110 amp MOSFET on the phases, so you get 23 power phases, so that's pretty much enough. These VRMs are essentially really over-engineered for air and water overclockers, but if you want that, you've got that there if you want to go for extreme overclocking. But moving through these motherboards, you've also got the Realtek 5 gigabit Ethernet LAN over the 2.5 gigabit on the Nova, but also a big important point here with the 870E is that it's the E chipset with the Nova, so you're getting that extended input-output support in the form of extra USB ports on the back, as well as extra M.2 support, where the previous motherboards here from the Riptide and the Steel Legend, for example, only had 3 M.2 support for slots. You've got here 5 M.2 slots to support NVMe drives. And then above that is your X870E Taichi Lite and Taichi motherboards, and here you're just going for maximum VRM, 27 power phases, 110 amps on each of those power phases. Though what about the differences between the Taichi Lite and the Taichi this time around on X870E? Well, the differences are mainly you just got more heatsink on the Taichi OG, and the Lite you got less heatsink and less quick release. They've actually got the same input-output support as well as all the same base features. You just save a bit of money with the Taichi Lite, even on the high end. Now also, all the E models themselves, they all support power and reset buttons as well as debug LED lights, and these are all coming up in the top right-hand corner of the motherboard. Of course, just like the Intel motherboards, I would have preferred this down the bottom right-hand corner of the motherboard, but ASRock tell me to fit everything on the board and not sacrifice anything, they have to put it up the top right-hand corner. And that's about it for the motherboards and the new AMD coverage, except for one product here, and that is their workstation graphics card. This is the RX 7900 XTX workstation, 24 gigabyte. So essentially a different flavor of the 7900 XTX, mainly designed for people building out massive AI rigs, and they want to get the airflow structure optimized. This is going to be the card for them, and it's just got that heatsink that's got this single blow-off fan design to blow air out the rear. Of course, this thing is going to get noisy, so I'd much prefer just your OC models with 3 fans, typical enthusiast blower cards, and that's going to do a much better job on noise and temps. But of course, you've got this option here for those that need it. And with all that aside, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, then be sure to hit that like button and also let us know in the comments section below, what was your favorite X870 design here today? Love reading your thoughts and opinions as always. And with that aside, I'll catch you in another tech video very soon for Computex 2024. Peace out for now. Bye.